best known for creating Steam, frequently adding new content to Team Fortress 2, developing several influential industry-changing games such as popular card game Artifact, Valve barely needs an introduction. Despite their legendary reputation and my passion for video games, I haven't ever beat Portal 1, a first-person puzzle game based around the simple premise of being able to shoot two portals with the now iconic portal gun. You've probably heard about it, I don't know why I'm explaining it, just making sure anything can enter one and exit out the other. Growing up, I was more interested in the Source Engine's multiplayer games like TF2, and especially Gary's mod.
Hello there.
So, welcome to the Aperture Science Enrichment Center, a visually cold, isolated, and futuristic-looking facility. You've woken up in a quote-unquote relaxation vault, and begin to take part in these dangerous test chambers like a lab rat, with a guiding but ominous robotic voice being your only company. The witty monologues and subtle ways that Portal tells its short story with multiple endings add so much to what would otherwise be just a solid puzzle game. But I want to focus mostly on the genuinely fascinating gameplay, as you can clearly see, so I won't talk about it much. While it really isn't a hard game to understand, Portal's interesting level design does lots to make sure anyone can quickly understand how things work. The most you can do at the start is move, jump, and pick up boxes to plop them onto buttons, which opens doors. It's not for long, God, imagine if the whole game was that, but it's basically a little tutorial before it opens up in Chamber 2. Some of the puzzles are real head-scratchers later, but with enough effort, it usually doesn't take too long to figure things out. And Chamber 2, this is where things truly begin. You're given the HEV suit, which lets you sprint. I immediately forget about this. You gain suit health to help survive certain attacks. Portal's iconic enemy, the antlions, are introduced, which, with the turrets, makes solving puzzles very challenging, as you can't stop to think or you're going to explode. Juggling puzzle solving and avoiding damage can be pretty fun once you learn how to dodge rockets through careful movement mixed with Source Engine jank. And it's here where you get the thing that Portal is known for, the... The only things consistent between chambers is that something wants you dead and that it's impossible to guess what will happen next. It's usually frustrating, but it's also one of the funniest things about it, and it feels weird to say, but it's genuinely an interesting experience, especially the extra content, which I'll talk about in detail later. Chamber 3 is where you actually get the portal gun, and is where the sentry turret is actually introduced. The lift is here, you want to fire a portal over there to reach it, but there's too many turrets too far away to just pick them up and knock them over. So, obviously, we'll use a grenade to tip over most of them, giving you just enough time to jump through the orange portal to be done with this mess. So, something I want to make very clear about the videos and the way I view stuff is that I like talking about games I find interesting is a very different statement to I like talking about good games. There's a lot of good games out there that, I mean, yeah, they're great, but I don't have anything to say. It does it perfectly serviceable. 7 out of 10 numbers. I actually hate number values. But there is value in something low quality, both deliberate and accidental, as long as some effort or passion has been put in. Is this conventionally good level design? Yeah, probably not, but in what other game am I going to get an experience this stupid and memorable? Because I was laughing my ass off a lot during this, and I'm patient enough to really sit through it. Game design rules are merely guidelines, and like with any form of art, they exist for a reason, but breaking them can lead to fascinating results. Be brave, experiment, place rocket turrets fucking everywhere to the point where I've gone to bed. Calm down, and in this silence I hear... There's these ball puzzles where you need to get it to reach a certain place using the portal gun to be able to progress. Did that barnacle just steal the ball and eat it? What? In Chamber 18, you need to get grabbed by these enemies to reach higher platforms, which, okay, that is legitimately a cool way to make use of what's normally an obstacle, until right at the end of all of these jumps.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The appropriate chamber for this testing sequence is currently unavailable.
What? Right, we need to turn some walls into merely a suggestion. So, portals cannot be placed on top of each other. Firing another near the sides will place it in a nearby open space instead. With this info, what happens if you fire another portal at the side closest to a wall? If the floor extends past a thin wall, the portal will bump to the other side. This is known as portal bumping and can be exploited to beat seemingly impossible odds or clip out the map. While the levels are designed with trolling in mind, the whack level design leads to a pretty fun, or at least stupidly silly, action puzzle game. The ever-present danger of the rocket turrets force you to think quickly or get creative with props, like in Chamber 10 where I stacked boxes to give myself some time to think. Chamber 13's button doesn't work, so you blast the glass with some lead, and you just fight a bunch of easy enemies to beat it, which is a surprisingly easy level for once. Having the portal gun and actual weapons together is a fun combo, to be honest. While Portal can get pretty hectic, Valve did a fantastic job making sure the chambers can be understood quickly. The drab colors of the Enrichment Center are contrasted with the bright and orange portals, striking red buttons, and clean white turrets with bright lasers. Without much effort, you can easily tell what's important, so puzzles are easier to understand. Honestly, the only exception for this in the campaign was Chamber 14. It took me ages to solve because this barely noticeable block jutting out the wall is key to clear the chamber. I didn't notice it! I spent ages attempting to beat it another way, but only got close to beating it. And once you spend longer than needed in a chamber, the humor does wear off a bit. Fortunately, Portal is fairly short, as it took me around 3 to 4 hours probably just to beat the main campaign, and yeah, I did see all the endings, there's multiple. In the final chamber, staying on the platform will reward you with a fiery end with no escape instead of cake. This is the, bad ending. Instead, break this window and open the door to escape. This little escape sequence is cool, though shorter than I expected. Most of your weapons get confiscated, leaving you with the gravity gun and portal gun. You knock over some turrets, shoot a few portals, and you're right at the final boss. Honestly, there's a lot that's good about it, but overall, I don't know. Phase 1 is pretty normal, redirect explosive rockets to hit big robot, then you grab her balls and throw them into an incinerator. That's a sentence that describes Portal and also an intimate Saturday night. It's Phase 2 where things get a little bit more complicated as you now have a time limit. The one rocket turret that's easy to redirect with the portal gun gets removed, which, yeah, okay, that's interesting, as I now have to rely on the multitude of turrets on the edge of the arena, which is way harder, and moving flying rocket turrets, that's evil. Eventually I gave up using the portal gun and just brute forced it by standing in front of the robot and moving as late as possible. This wasn't hard, I just found it to be tedious. The annoying part is when a rocket gets so fucking close, but she swings to and fro non-stop, so sometimes you'll do everything seemingly right and miss or run into a rocket or something. It's Portal at its most chaotic, but for me, I think my patience ran out, leaving me exhausted. Sorry, the music for the fight is neat, and it's Megalovania in there. Okay, yeah, that's good. If I was better at Portal or took advantage of... I can't remember, but maybe I will later. Perhaps this wouldn't be an issue for me. It kind of just ends. at least you're treated to Still Alive, a wonderful credits song you can hear in the background right now. I love the additions of ringtones in the song, like it represents the team's undying will to mess with the player, even during the credits itself. And I got the good ending. I don't know what I'm looking at. Green Gordon Freeman, I guess. I love it when title screens change after beating a game. It's like a nice cherry on top. Initially, I wasn't planning to cover the achievements or the 4 extra levels now available, but I'm already here, so let's talk about them briefly. Hidden in Chamber 17 behind a wall are scribbles from a mysterious character known as the Rat Man. When I was little, I loved hearing theories online about Portal. Valve set up a cool mystery so well with the side comics, ARGs, and the sequel, which I really gotta play soon. Anyway, there are 2 things here I want to highlight. One, the man's got some drawing skills. This drawing of a humanoid rocket turret firing a barrage out of their hand and head is cool as fuck, actually. It's way better than it has any right to be. 2, Among Us. 2, this. Portal bump in Chamber 14 to get to Cake. Okay. There's actually a secret area. That's awesome. That's really cool. So I spent 30 minutes looking around trying to portal bump every wall all I could, just try to do everything only to see the cake behind the glass. And I thought, oh, okay, there it is. Maybe I can get to that. So I tried portal bumping around the fucking window, and I looked in the achievement menu that they have here only for this. I spent all that time and fell for a fucking the cake is a lie joke in 2023. Well, fuck's sake. Well played, I guess. Fuck you. So, the extra levels. I gotta talk about Advanced Chamber 4. Nope, never mind. I'm not doing that level. Advanced Chamber 9, I don't have anything interesting to say, so this one's based off of a removed chamber shown in an old trailer. Neat. And it's over. Advanced Chamber 20, a very silly mess of a level that did confuse me a bit, but I enjoyed it. The G-Man sphere, driving a car through zombies, and...
No.
And it's over. I did it. Overall, my feelings on this whole experience are all over the place. It was quite frustrating, but the sheer stupidity kept me hooked to see what would be next. It was deliberately terrible, but went so far towards that goal that it looped back to being incredibly entertaining, and despite it all, I enjoyed P. Also known as Portal Epic Edition by Epic Backflip, a team that has created a painful but hilarious mod. I respect the time and effort it must have taken to develop this for a dumb joke. Genuinely, it is not easy to make levels in anything, ever. I've had a blast making this video. It's very refreshing to make a very different or silly video every once in a while. I can experiment and not feel too worried about messing up. I'm really glad I've done the first campaign. Thank you so much for... Wait, why did I put first in the script? It's not like there's... It starts with CBT's relaxation room is a minute of avoiding an instant kill laser and rocket turrets till you're finally freed. Barnacles cling onto props and needed to climb up, meaning you gotta deal with this glitchy mess just to get one thing, and I don't know why a rocket turret is in the lift. The only safe place in P, but I guess not here. It's basically the same idea as Vanilla Portal's Chamber 1, but fucking hell, it doesn't matter how hard you try, it's too fast to try to time it, so I just prayed and just kept trying it until I eventually got in the right place. These rolling enemies dangle from the ceiling, which only serve to shove you into the blue instant kill pits. Altogether, this is just evil, but this somehow didn't take too long to beat. vanilla portal lets you stop to look at the portal gun in the window and listen to the voice before moving on. How slow and boring! A jump rope that lives up to the T in CBT has been placed here, and no, I don't mean T as in test or therapy. This chamber, like P with the shotgun replacing the portal gun, does a genuinely wonderful job showing what to expect from this campaign.
Why do we all have to wear these ridiculous ties?
After stealing the HEV suit from Half-Life 1 itself, I got stuck as I couldn't figure out how to get up there. Fortunately, there is a wonderful walkthrough online I occasionally use by Alfie5? Alfie5, one of the level designers in Epic Backflip. Cheers for making it. I'm no Portal expert, so there are some techniques that are required to beat CBT that, without, I never would have even considered. Keep that in mind. This walkthrough helped me figure out that the portal gun's projectile isn't quite instant. Yeah, that's obvious, but I didn't realize that in that time, you can quickly enter a portal, which has a variety of uses. To see this trick being a key part of the level design is actually really genuinely cool. You finally get a crowbar to deal with the reskinned headcrabs. This chamber is based around placing blue portals past these platforming challenges, then maneuvering back through them to enter the orange portal at the start. It's neat, though I need to show the best part. Who designed this room knowing that ammo boxes have collision? I'd like to talk. There's so much shit that happens with no rhyme or reason, it's a good laugh. Open doors, gaps in the world itself, and cheekiest of all, this button. Getting the box by using that technique made me feel like a pro until...
Once again, excellent work.
Okay, that's at the start now. I could probably throw it over. Due to my naive thinking, I spent a lot of time stuck here. I got the box all the way over and I would get so close. I know, time is a valuable thing, but I thought it would be really cool to skip the backtracking. I constantly try it. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Every few attempts, I check the time and watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock ticks life away until I give up and go back and forth. Why is there music? It kind of slaps, but isn't it a bit tense for... Fuck. You shoot a bunch of antlions, then use boxes to get to the orange portal, and then you're just done. It's... whatever. It's so unreal seeing the outdoors in Portal. It's a free win, but man, it looks great for Source standards, especially compared to the other chambers. In this, you stack tables and chairs to climb up to elevated areas. It's pretty finicky to place them right, and the rockets force you to jump off sometimes, causing it all to fall apart. I was being stupid and didn't place the props in the right area for a while though. There's no insane bells or whistles here, or even for the last two chambers. Look out below for the instant blue glowy liquid, but other than that, it looks pretty much the same as regular. What the fuck? You do a simple ball puzzle to activate the moving platform so you can get to the other side, then gravity flips? Okay, you can do that in Source? Now you gotta do it again, but it's harder because you need to bounce off the platform you used before, which is genuinely really creative level design. Like, this comes out of fucking nowhere. Both platforms are activated, but the second one is harder to reach, and you can't flip gravity the same way. This time, you gotta build speed to launch yourself back to the other side, where gravity will flip and you can fall again. Then do it again with good timing to finally reach the second moving platform. CBT has more creative, custom, or unique ideas than P, which was more about ruining, like, Portal's stellar level design. They're both painful to play in their own way, but CBT feels like a more refined second draft, where they're still basically shitposting, but using what they learned from making P to expand past teehee, rocket spam, beep 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 beep. That was meant to be the rocket noise, I don't know why I did it. Which, yeah, was funny, but I'm enjoying CBT way more. You need to know what makes something good to make something deliberately and entertainingly bad, so I guess it makes sense to see legitimately decent level design at times. It takes a lot of confidence to make something new, creative, but terrible on purpose, but I really enjoy it whenever they do.
The Enrichment Center regrets to inform you that this next test is impossible.
What are you talking about? It's just red light, green lights. Welcome to the ball pit. You can get close, but can't quite jump over it. Luckily, I found a lift in this hidden Half-Life 2 room. That's nice of them, though you have to wait ages. Of course, very funny, the lift is so slow. So while I wait, I may as well talk about what I saw. I mean, look at this shit, such a massive drop, and I had no idea how you'd even climb up using those little blocks jutting out of the wall. I got to one of them by using the gravity gun to launch myself up. The physics are pretty buggy, but I was able to place a ball next to me to get up onto another block. This was a tedious pain in the ass to do just once, so I'm glad there's a lift. Imagine having to repeat this to get all the way back up. If I can hear it, then it has to be close, right? Why would it be fake? They're not that cruel. For fuck's sake! After 2.5 playthroughs, I've just found out I can fucking quick save. Now that I finally remembered that I can quick save, I'm unstoppable. So this one's similar to Portal, but upside down. No, I didn't spend a few minutes scared of stairs on the ceiling. Imagine that. You get the orange portal gun here at least, and the puzzle wasn't hard. The difficulty comes from the stupid shit here. Have fun getting blinded and deafened by these flying guys. Watch the time go right out the window if you fight them as they infinitely respawn. Having eyes is kind of important, but sometimes it won't help.
What the fuck?
Oh, and don't fall into the ceiling lights. You'll be there for a while.
Welcome. Welcome to City 17.
Again, similar to Portal, but now with lasers that require precise movement and thinking ahead to maneuver around, launch yourself past, and later, all of that whilst trying to hold onto a box. Oh hey, it's the Half-Life scientists. Seeing stuff thrown in from other Source games is always really silly to see. Oh, why? Sail the instant kill Chamber 13 seas in a luxurious boat steered by your gravity gun and the will of the Source engine physics. It's jank as fuck, but yeah, it's fun. I didn't even know the cubes float and thought I had to hold on to it for a while, so I just ended up doing this for quite a bit. Oh look, it's G-Man. What is he doing up there? Oh, Chamber 14 was probably the most confusing one for me, as I was missing key information, like how you can actually blow up the sniper turrets with grenades. I wasted it all, but you can get it tons more, which is kind of them. I also don't know how I was meant to figure that out, but okay. I also misunderstood what the ball puzzle actually wanted me to do. I thought it was going to be rapidly placing portals to get through these barnacle-filled corridors, which I was actually kind of excited to do, but you just do the in and out portal trick, and that's how you beat it. Chamber 15 is absolutely incredible. It's unfair bullshit, but as a one-off gimmick, yeah, it's hilarious. It's just the stupidest fucking chamber here. It's a good time, even if it did leave me incredibly paranoid. Bathtubs, disappearing floors that put you back to the start, and don't touch the glass? Why? The final room with the ball puzzle is calm, but the fact it's normal is terrifying. Where's the twist? Oh, I feel like I should have died like 3 times there. Just sprint, slow down for 1 second, and... Boat car! I love this... oh god, my voice. I love this thing. Everyone does. It's the same ball puzzle as regular, normal Chamber 17, but replace the companion cube with an airboat, which is a big upgrade. The biggest difference is in this part, you gotta launch the airboat through the gap, which took me so many tries. I don't know if there's an easier way, but I did get there in the end.
Target acquired. Sentry mode activated.
That's actually just evil to do that whilst I'm paranoid. This chamber is mostly like portals, but stretched vertically, which is actually quite helpful for skipping the cube puzzle. You get disintegrated and lose all of your items, so this chamber is all about movement. Things are a tad warm and dangerous here, but at least you can throw or fondle your beans. I'm glad that I learned about quick saving for this part. I just couldn't do these fucking jumps every time. I tap my head or poke a toe into a laser, and sometimes I get halfway, then get excited and lose focus. I really struggled with this. I'll admit, it was a skill issue. I got past eventually, and unlike P, you can actually progress from here. This room had kept everything you needed inside here. If you thought flying rocket turrets were bad, this has annoying flying sentry turrets, so you need to move as quickly as possible. I mean, I'm just happy to get to do a bit of the escape sequence. It was the coolest part of Portal for me. Getting up this ledge is a bit different though. You place a portal down here, then move and dive into a portal on a slanted surface, so on the other side, you're flung diagonally, which is pretty neat. You can take some satisfaction by gunning down some turrets, and now, the final boss. This one slaps. It's probably the most interesting chamber, as it's mostly custom content. You're given the rocket launcher this time around. Yes, you can just shoot the rockets. Redirecting them in P was a pain. I'm so glad you get to just do it yourself. Shoot GLaDOS, her balls drop, you portal to this little box with ammo refills and slap a button to open the incinerator. Grab those round fucks and shoot a 3-pointer on a moving incinerator to deal damage, and then she shields herself. You then need to move out of these janky looking big red zone attack thingies before they activate. It's pretty fun and well telegraphed. The attack patterns are readable, you're given enough time to figure it out first try, and the portal gun is required to dodge some of them. After that, you break bits of the spinning shield to be able to damage GLaDOS again, then it repeats a few times, and then you're done. I enjoyed this way more than I thought I would.
The facility will self-destruct in 1 minute.
You gotta sprint and get to the end of this short section really quickly, avoiding stuff you've seen before while going fast, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. Oh, the stupidest fucking joke I've done. Oh my god. This is the normal Portal ending, mostly. Of course, they put a door you can't get through right at the end of everything. I shouldn't be surprised. Well, we're finally done with... Oh, just check the walkthrough. Turns out you actually can get through there, but we need to go back. We've made it this far. May as well see it to the end. The actual, proper end. Step 1, throw the beanball at this glass window. Step 2, 1, 2... Fuck! Spend ages trying to platform up to the window by jumping up these tiny props attached to the ceiling and pick up this box. Do not lose it. Step 3. Oh my god. Step 4. Carry this box all the way to the final boss and leave it outside. Step 5. Step 6. Escaping with the box is a challenge due to the amount of ways it can be destroyed and no sprinting mixed with the time limit. It's doable though. And now you can ride the boat car to be treated to a secret and final ending.
2, 1.
Look, I know, this might sound silly, but I think this end screen with the music is a pretty nice ending to this mod. Having someone with a shoddy mic playing a piano and singing about celebrating beating this painful campaign works, even though I feel like it really shouldn't. Maybe it's because having a moment of sincerity after hours and hours of comedy with layers of irony and memes and stuff is refreshing. And that has been Portal Epic Edition and the Cognitive Behavioral Tests. An obnoxious, frustrating, and unfair mod tied together by just how far they carefully obliterate level design guidelines for comedy at your expense. It's so deliberately bad, it's hilarious for a specific type of person. And despite how it seems, clearly a lot of effort went into striking the balance between funny bad and actually unplayably bad. Though at times, it's clear that they're actually pretty skilled and especially creative at what they do, with some chambers and CBT's final boss, which are legitimately really good for no reason. And overall, I had a lot of fun doing this as a one-off, genuinely. CBT especially. Also, I can't believe that even the acronyms for both campaigns are a piss take too. Having to say P and CBT repeatedly for 20 to 30 minutes in serious or sincere sentences is silly. I mean, you know what P means, it's not an acronym, but come on, you know. But CBT usually stands for Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, but it can also stand for